Hello, boys and girls. I'm back with a new stream Monday evening, and it's going to be about Sparta War of Empires MMO browser game from a game company called Plarium. They are more famous for their game, which is called. Let me see here. All games. Raid Shadow Legends, I believe. It's the newest game, and I know a lot of YouTube movie producers are making commercials for this game. So they're Sparta is an older game of theirs, not as famous. And unfortunately, I've had to use screen capture, and I can only hope you see what I'm seeing, because if I tab out, I see my browser software, Streamlabs OBS, and if I go into the game, I can see what the stream is watching. I have to watch this afterwards, and the reason is that none of the three streaming softwares I tried out have been able to capture this game. Maybe it's because it's a Flash executable. I don't know. That's way beyond my pay grade and technological knowledge, but yeah, I really hope. Hello? Hello? Oh wait.
Hello?
Stream of OBS.
Oh wait.
Hello?
Turn
Stream
off
my
my
microphone
OBS.
again.
Oh wait. Hello? Stream my
microphone
OBS.
again.
Oh wait. Hello? Stream my
microphone
OBS.
again.
Oh wait. Hello? Stream my
microphone
OBS.
again.
Oh wait. Hello?
Alright, there we go. Sorry about that. Yeah. All three of my streaming softwares failed to capture. They found the program, but they just didn't show. It was just a black screen. So all I can do is screen capture, which means you'll see anything that I show on my screen, all my secret passwords, etc., etc. Anyways, this is Sparta, my town in Sparta, and this is basically the screen where you stay at all the time in this game. Well, maybe I shouldn't call it game as much as a graphical Excel sheet is more what I would like to call it. Yeah, it's a game. There are other players. It's MMO because there are lots of other players playing it. You have a main map, and here's my city. I'm level 94, so I played this for a long time. And you can change the appearance of your town. And here's the map and all my neighbors. I can't scroll now. Alright. Oh, there we go. So yeah, sure, my armies can travel to all these different cities here, but you won't see them graphically moving on the map. You will just see a time notification, how far it is to go, depending on the distance. And I suppose the map is rather huge, because this is the large main map, which shows territories of different teams, coalitions, and etc. And my position is down here. But basically, other towns that you interact with and locations, it's just a time, an ETA, estimated time to arrival notification. So it's not a very graphical game. Although the town itself is pretty. You have 4 unit build queues, buildings, light infantry, heavy infantry, phalanx, which is even heavier infantry, and cavalry. And if you look at the pictures of the units, the ancient Greek, Roman, Persian time, it's a mix. It's a mix of antiquity units. It's not historical per se that it's set in a certain year. I'd say these units cover, I don't know, 1,000 years, maybe 1,500 years, up until the Roman period. Roman units, late Roman Republic units, or even Imperial time are the last kind of units. But the pictures are nice. So graphically, it's a beautiful game, yes. But you don't do a lot with those fancy pictures and towns that you build. So the purpose of the game is to build up your city, fortify it, build units, improve everything, and that takes a long time. To reach level 94, playing it rather leisurely and not paying a lot of money to the game company, I don't know if I play this 2 years or 3 years. It's a long time. I'll let it rest for a couple of months here and there, but I usually log in at least once a day, spend my resources that to build new units to slowly build up. And even after this time, I'm not on an extremely high level, and my armor isn't huge or anything, because to make progress in this game, you really have to invest real world money into it. It's very much a pay to win game, this as well. So I have over the years I spent a bit of money. You know, every time I buy something, I think to myself, well, how long do I want to be playing this game really? And I wonder if I really should invest. But you know, it's a couple of euros here and there, and you know, oh, I want to improve this part of the town. To do it instead of waiting for months. I'll just pay them a couple of euros. So I'm sure it's a very good business proposition, this game, although I don't know how long they're gonna be maintaining it. They introduce new features into it quite frequently. Interesting and good features that depends on your taste. I suppose it's getting very extensive as a browser game. As you can see, the town is rather cluttered with different buildings and stuff to do. I don't even know if I'm going to go into and explain all the different buildings to you, because I expect my viewer to know how a mobile browser MMO game kind of works. If not, I think there will be better videos than this one for you to find out like a basic understanding. I'd rather talk more generally about the game, an overall impression of it, not so much a review of it, but as I'm explaining where I am and how I perceive this game. I am since I have a decent army. I'm level of one of the top coalitions in the game, which means all these tournaments that are ongoing, they last maybe 2, 3, 4, up to 5, 6, 7 days. You might refer to them as quests in other games, I suppose. They tell you that hello, there's a Rally Week XP exhibition this solo. These 2 days and 18 hours. So the more XP I make in the game, the greater my rewards will be. Now, the rewards in this game are very weird. Sometimes you have to do incredible feats of investment in time, maybe even real world money, and just wasting troops. And the rewards you get are minuscule. You hardly get any rewards at all. So then you figure, who in their right mind would do this? Sometimes you have some rather nice, very nice rewards for not a lot of effort. So I'm thinking that either there are different people doing the tournaments, have been doing it, setting them up over time, or there's someone doing it that doesn't play or know the game very well. It's a weird design. It's not balanced. Some tournaments, I just look at them and say, I'm not gonna do that at all. It's worthless. Some are just like, oh yeah, this is cool. It's not balanced. Let me put it like that. Is there? So this is a PvP game, but the majority of the players, I'm sure they brag about their 15 million accounts or something like that. I don't know. They are level 3 players that left the games 5 years ago, or whenever this came out. So how many active players there are in the game, I have no idea. But I can tell you that if I browse around on the map, the vast majority are gonna be low-level abandoned accounts and cities. Also, obviously, multi-accounting is forbidden, because I could just start a new account under another email address and have them build troops and send to my main city, and thereby multiplying my troop building capacity. Now, is this enforced successfully? No, it isn't. They don't care. As long as players pay money, yeah, they're gonna allow multi-accounting, which I only have one city, of course. And when I found out that basically some players can tenfold their troop capacity. I understood that there's no way I can compete with that. I'm not going to invest the time. I'm not going to cheat and have 10 cities producing troops for me. So I'm sticking with a single. There are 3 servers. I only play on one server. Luckily, I only have one city. So yeah, that's a problem with the game, definitely. The multi-accounting. I think you can have up to 160 players in one coalition, and coalitions can have sub-coalitions. So then you just start a coalition X number 2. So that's allowed to have a second lower tier coalition. I guess that's fine. But coalitions can also they can also form unions. And to be honest, that is beyond my understanding of the game. For example, Death, which is my very cool name, my coalition, they are in a union which is called Death and Honor, so that there are 4 coalitions in this, and all in all we have 193 warriors. So there's a lot of diplomacy going on, and I guess sometimes you have outbreaks of coalition wars, and coalitions can build a capital, which is a nice feature where you upgrade it, and every player of the game gets a lot of bonuses from this capital. And all the players, they send a lot of garrisons to protect this capital so it doesn't get raided and destroyed by other coalitions. And sometimes there are tournaments that are specifically for the purpose of attacking other coalitions' capitals. I would imagine if you want to start your own little coalition and you're not a very strong coalition, you're gonna get raided, stomped, and overwhelmed by the larger coalition, because you're gonna be easy XP experience points and just tournament gain. I wouldn't know about that, but I'd imagine, because as far as I understand the combat system, I just pick up my army and decide how many troops, what leader, what general, what equipment, what bonuses I'm gonna activate, and then I send it to a town. It's gonna tell me you're gonna be there in 1 hour. The other player sees an incoming attack. If he's online in the game, he decides how many troops he's gonna deploy. We would call it outside on the walls, vulnerable to attack, because basically you hide the majority of your troops in this Acropolis, which is I suppose, like a subterranean hidden cavern under your main fortress. It's let's call it a black box where you can hide your troops and no one can attack them or affect them in any way. And the best way to defend yourself in this game is just to hide all your troops in there. I appreciate this in one way, because that means you don't have to be constantly online in this, which I think is a feature more or less in some advanced MOBAs strategy games, that if your army is in your town, it's vulnerable and it can be attacked by stronger players that are more active than you. So you maybe have to send your army away on a meaningless raid for 12 hours, and then 12 hours later it's going to come back, and if you don't immediately send it away, players can scout on you and hit and eliminate your army. In this game, I can go away from keyboard. I can become inactive for months at a time, and my city is just gonna sit there, maybe get sieged by a hostile player, so I don't gain new resources. But basically, the army I have now, I can save that forever. That's a good feature for a MOBA, in my opinion. But um, if I attack a city, when I reach it, the other player is gonna have some warning alerts that he's being attacked. He can hide his entire army. I raid it, I gain some resources, I go home. His wall's gonna be taken down and burned, and it's gonna take him a couple of hours to rebuild the walls. It's gonna take him a couple of days to rebuild a few free upgrade buildings. But it's not a big thing to be raided. I have millions of food. If I lose like 50 or 100,000 of those when I get raided, I don't really care. But what you care about is destroying the enemy player's army at a favorable loss rate, which you rarely get by attacking someone's town, because there's a defense bonus. All these walls and catapults, they give you a defense bonus, so usually it's not a good idea to attack unless you attack at very strong force ratio, I suppose. So this game is very much a game of the stronger players bullying very weak players. If you can find weak players and bully them, good for you. That's good for you. It's not such a good time for the weak players. All right. So if I want to upgrade a building so it becomes stronger, so I build faster or stronger units, there's a research tree, quite advanced. Here it is. Every troop unit, fortress, building, whatever, has a research level. But when you get up towards the higher levels of those, they're gonna cost you something called upgrade sketches, and it's basically another paid currency. They give out a few, like a handful of upgrade sketches every week. A handful. But upgrading a troop or a building will cost you hundreds or thousands of upgrade sketches. So there's no way I mean, if you play this for free, it's going to take you an extremely long time to progress anywhere. Of course you can do it, but and maybe you can upgrade just one or two things, but your town's going to be very weak. So they want you to purchase from the in online shop these upgrade. So I'm paying here and I'm getting 1,000 gold, drachma, Greek money, that I can buy upgrade sketches with. But if I hadn't paid real world money, my city would have been basically worthless by at this time now after 2 years. So yeah, I have a little arena fight here with a graphical movement, but it's basically just I'm grinding up a currency, another currency called Pilak points that gives you skills, and I have 674,000 Pilak points, and really I can invest them in opening up skills. But if I just unlocked and used all these paid to research all these skills, there's no way I would have used up all these free pilot points. What I need are upgrade sketches that is a more or less real money paid currency. So that's the bottleneck, and no one cares about the pilot points. I guess if you know anything about game design, you shouldn't introduce a new game currency that is pointless. But you have other currency here that you can exchange for stuff as well. So only 5 currency in this, whereof the only one you can grind for free is basically useless or pointless. What else is there? So yeah, I log in every 3 hours and I activate this, and I get a nice bonuses. But so I have to log in at least 8 times per 24-hour cycle if I want to maximize my investment in this game. It's not like I can tell this Pilarch to activate for a 24-hour period, and no, you cannot renew it in any way without logging into the game. So the game rewards active players that logs in every 3 hours. I suppose these bonuses are quite strong. It's a good way for non-paying players to actually achieve something in the game. Although, and it's not a bad thing. You can basically keep this window open in the background of your computer when you're home isolated with the coronavirus, and just tab in here more or less every 3 hours, and you see a little icon, and then you renew it. So it's not a big deal, but for people that are not on their computer 24 hours a day, they will not be able to um, achieve the best result in this game. So, but other than that, it's not like you can do anything all the time. You check these tournaments here, and then you achieve in those 24 hours and 48 hours. You basically say to yourself, I want to reach this level, and you invest that many troops, and when you reach that level you can just leave the tournament. Although there are some that forces you to click thousands and 10,000s of times when you level up your guardians, which are the generals or advisors in this. They've only been in the game for a couple of months, but you have maybe 15 different variants of these, and they improve uh, all different manners of troop defense, troop offense, defense of your town, defense of your um, coalition capital, resource production, blah 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 blah. They improve all different manners, and as usual in role-playing games, you have gray, green, blue, purple, and yellow, like or gold, which is, and of course they are very much more powerful on the higher levels. And where do you get the high level guardians from? Well, you can get them from in-game events, but usually you just buy them in the in-game shop. And how much are they? Uh, yeah, they're quite expensive. Say I want to buy the best, so I have to buy these Holy Summoning Bond. 3 of them cost 34 euros. This is in the Swedish local currency, so you just divide that by 10 and you have the euro price. So 34 euros, you get 3 of these Holy Summoning Bonds. That gives you 25% to get the top grade. So basically, you know, mathematically, not only one. Okay, so if I would open these, I would probably get 1. So I pay 34 euros for the chance to get maybe 1 of these. I could get more, could get less. I could wait to certain tournaments and get better odds. Yeah, here's another one, 10 euro. I get some troops. 7 euro. I get some gold, get some troops. Not a lot, but some. I can get another currency that makes it easier to grind those guardians for 34 euros. Things are not cheap in this game, not at all. Can get purple, the second best kind of general guardian advisors, I would call them, and that gives you a nice chance to pull out quite a few. I mean, it's a 10% chance to get a purple, so 10 means mathematically you should get 1. So 1 purple, which is not even the best grade, cost you 34 euros, right? That's not something I would ever consider spending money on. I heard and read and chatted with people playing this game that there are people investing thousands of dollars a month in this game, and I'm not surprised considering the prices in the game. Yeah, you can basically play why are there green and why are there red troops in this game. Can you tell the difference here? Yeah, you can here. Offense and defense. So there are basically 2 types of units. In the light infantry building, I can build green troops which are defensive. They have an offensive value, so I can attack with them, but they have very low. Let's say maybe a 4th. So yeah, there are some players that defend with offensive troops, and there's some players that attack with defensive troops, but they're making huge mistakes. I don't even see why you can do it, because it's I thought in the beginning that maybe you could, you know, by really reinforcing a strong, making a strong offensive troop, you could maybe sometimes find it worthwhile to defend with it. No, it's not, never. So they could just basically say you can only defend with defensive troops. That would actually help player with lower understanding of the game, and maybe that are not as patient and tactically skilled. So yeah, I guess it's a certain skill momentum to figure out that it's worth it to defend with offensive units. My main light infantry attack unit is the swordsman, which I leveled up to the max level, which is 32, and you have experience. You can actually upgrade. They gain combat experience, which I think is kind of a neat feature of this game. I like that. I am level 14 or rank 14 on these, and the more I use them, the more actually I lose of them, the better they get at fighting. So by sticking to building only 1 light infantry unit, which I basically am, I produce more of them and I use them more, and I gain more experience with that. So basically all these other unit types I don't use. Not much, at least. You gain some for free from tournaments. So obviously I'm gonna save those and hopefully one day go from level 30, which is I think free, to level 32, which costs these upgrade sketches that are so expensive and bottlenecky that I can't use them everywhere, because then I would run out of them. So but other than the light infantry, when it comes to heavy phalanx and cavalry, and even these new magical illusion units that lives in a city in the sky. They made an entirely new different city here, the Illusion City. So like they want to make more money, so they made a new city where you can build a new sort of troops called Illusion units. I don't know what that is in real world counterparts, but I suppose this is connected somehow up here in the clouds to my city further down. But it's just basically another graphical iteration of an Excel sheet. I suppose this game handles a lot of numbers, so they must have powerful servers configuring, but they don't need any moving graphics, so that makes it easier. So anyway, my other build type troops are defensive. So in this game I am a defensive player, which I think is the minority, because one offensive unit is kind of as powerful as two defensive units in this game. So I have to build two units to actually defend versus another player, let's say, that is offensive and wants to attack me. I gain quite a decent city defense if he attacks me in my town, but if I want to defend anywhere else, he has that advantage. So it's a very long-term investment to go defensive in this game. The reason I did it is, well, I am playing defensively. There are certain advantages to this gameplay. I'm not sure I'm gonna give that away even. Why? But it's better. It's just better. If you play this long term and don't invest to your entire salary, you can gain more gold by being defensive. Then you cannot attack yourself to the gold currency in the game, which you can buy upgrade sketches with. But defensively, I can defend so-called emporia, and in emporia you can mine in-game currency, real-world money, in-game currency. So there is a way by risking being attacked, and the way I do this is I place defensive positions in this mine. It's not, yeah, it is on the map, but it's not graphically represented. So it's just a pool where I put some troops. And if a player wants, he can come there and he can kill all my troops and say, haha, I gained a lot of experience points. There's no way I can see that they're inbound and protect myself from this. Say I put up 1,000 troops and they attack with 1 trillion troops. The odds ratio is going to be so much in their favor that they hardly going to not lose anyone. Well, they don't know beforehand unless they scout it. If I have 50 trillion troops there, then the attack is very stupid because they're going to lose their entire army, and they're not going to inflict as much damage. And as long as I have enough scouts and make myself invulnerable to espionage, no one will know what their attack is. So you can have to make blind attacks, yada yada yada. It's a guessing game, and I shouldn't say it's kind of like poker, playing poker, but you just figure how much you're gonna bet, and is my hand strong enough? And basically what I do is I figure this is how much I'm gonna lose. I am willing to lose to defend this money mine that the Emporia I'm putting troops in. And if a very strong player wants to kill these troops, let him do it. I have activated a lot of defensive bonuses. I have a good general equipment because you have armor that you can magically upgrade, and you can decide to have a defensive or an offensive setup. I'm working on both, but I invested most of my broken down equipment on different magic colors into a defensive armor setup, so I'm basically very strong defensively, and I've been waiting, and I will eventually upgrade my offensive stuff and my offensive troops and become an offensive player as well. But you can do both at both times, but I've focused on defensive mostly. So yeah, that's let's see how long this stream is so far. It's been half an hour. Yeah, I guess I can talk a little bit more about the game. There's a lot more to cover, of course, but those are some. Now there are mercenaries that you buy instead of buying them with timber and bronze and grain, which are the 3 main resources in the game. I can buy them with denarii, which are Roman money. So these are they all Roman mercenaries? I think they introduced that a long time ago. So basically, what I do is I exchange in this building, the Argentarium. Exchange 500 of each. In 1 hour, I'm gonna get 500 silver money, the denarii. I have 600, almost 700,000 of those that I've saved up, and for those I can buy, instead of the uh, the regular timber, bronze, and grain troops, I can buy a better version of cavalry, which has a better defense value, which costs a lot of silver money denarii, and I can build these. They're not fully researched because that's very expensive. It's probably I don't know. I guess 20-25 euro investment to upgrade from level 31 to 32. There's a lot of upgrades in this game, and that's just one, because it's the best defensive unit in the game, in the defensive category, cavalry being the strongest category. So one day I'm gonna build a lot more of those legates, because that's the best unit, and those are the ones I'm gonna upgrade to veteran status and keep hidden in the capital of my coalition, and become a bit stronger that way. Now what else is there? Yeah, if I go to the bank and I want to buy, let's see, I just want to buy some gold. Bank, where's the gold purchase? Here? Package featured. Sorry. I just want to see the exchange rate. I calculated this. I mean, you can buy packages. Okay. No, no. Here are emeralds. I just want to buy. I guess it's in the market. Give me 1 second. I want to buy. No. Well, my guess is that like 1,000 upgrade sketches, which is one currency that you use to build and upgrade. It's like the main currency. I would say it costs around 10,000 gold money, and that is about, my guess would be 10 euros. So you don't get a lot for the money you invest. You have to invest a lot of money to get a lot in this game. It's an expensive game to play. Every day I get 25 free heroes. They are free. They're light infantry. But if you multiply that with a year, so if you log in once every 24 hours, you're gonna get a couple of thousand free infantry. Kind of worthless now, but I guess in the startup process of the game, yeah, they could be. When you're a beginner in this game, that's another type of unit that you can get for free. You also get caravans and free ships that show up, so you get a couple of hundred resources. It's kind of a tutorial, beginner player help aid, but it keeps showing up every morning, and just by pure habit I click it, but it's just a couple of hours or minutes of production for me now with my production. I can show how you produce resources as well. I have 5 lumberyards. You can't build more. You have 5 spots that you can build, and with the tutorial you build all 5 of them, and then you can upgrade them from level 1 all the way up to level 25 that I've upgraded them to, which is quite far. The first level you gain 20 timber per lumberyard. Now I gain 900 timber per hour. So as you see, the increase is incremental. You go from a very low to quite a high production. But you can also get those passive bonuses. 2% unit defense bonus. That's every defensive unit in the game. And I wanted both offensive and defensive. So I spent upgrade sketches to get all the way up to this level 25. So now I get 2% on my entire offensive army and 2% on my entire defensive. Now that doesn't change until I go all the way up to 30. Then I get 5%. I would love to do this, but that's gonna cost an insane amount of upgrade sketches. So I can't. There's no way I can afford that in 100 years. So okay, if I want to upgrade this one level, it's 11,450 drachma. It would be good if we knew how much real world money that would be, but one level in one building out of 5. Is that it? No. No. where do I buy? I thought it would be under bank. I never buy drachma like this. You can do it with PayPal or Visa card. Uh, Featured packages, why can't I just buy? Sorry about this, but drachma. Yeah, you have all these different currencies. You can buy elite units called champion units just by using money. You can buy offensive. I can buy in-game either by using gold money or I can build them slowly in my factories. You can even buy the Roman mercenaries if those are the troops you prefer. I can upgrade my city's towers. The towers I want to build are defensive towers. And if I'm gonna build that, a fortification, one single tower of level 10 is 10,000 gold money drachma. I just want to find out how much. So let's call it 10,000. That's like one upgrade of anything. Uh, well, this is weird. One would expect them to make it easy to buy. Well, upgrade sketches you can see here. 1,000 upgrade sketches is 10,000 gold, but there's a recurring 25% sale, so you get them for 7,500. But where is the gold buying button? Okay, well, they've hidden that well in the game. Now they want you to buy these packages instead. If I buy a package that gives you gold. Okay, so this gives 15,000 gold. It's 13 euro. So maybe that gives 10,000 gold, a price of about 10 euro. So let's go with that estimate. It's depending on what you buy, when you buy, how you buy, how much, you're gonna get a different price. Yeah, I want to present another thing in the shop. Okay, I can't do that now. They have recurring packages that are okay, here we go. You see how this package normally costs 340 or 34 euro, and now it's only 10 euro. Well, this package has never been sold for anything but 10 euro. They never sold it for 34 euros. But 80% of their products, their digital packages that they sell, are on 50 to 80% sale permanently. And that is actually illegal to sell something unless you need to have it on the regular price most of the time, and then you can lower the price. It's against EU regulations, so what they're doing is illegal, and it's in my opinion it's also highly unethical and a very bad business model, and any serious game development company would not do this. It would be fine if they had these, or look, this package costs 68 euro and you get one bond. This gives 25% to gain the best leader in the game, advisor in the game, for 68 euro. It's not even a leader. It's a 25% chance for 68 euro to gain. And these things are worthless. You don't care about these. But this is the one you want. So let's say they have this on 50% sale. It's only 34 euros. Ooh, I roll a die, 25%. No, I didn't get the best leader in the game. Oh, sorry, I paid 34 euros. And they have the stomach to tell you that this is on 80% sale. Well, not this package, but other packages. So I really would wish they would change this entire business model around and say that 10 euros, that's the normal price. If I come in and see there's a 20% sale, I know that's something that's only going to happen maybe once or twice or three times a year, not every time you put out a new package on sale. And they change these they have dozens and dozens and dozens of all these packages, and they have very many different small little 50 of those and 10 of those and 3 of those, which makes it almost impossible to compare the different packages. That is probably not illegal to do, but it's very low standard of business ethics when it comes to EU regulations. You shouldn't do this as a business, running a business this way. It should make it easier for the consumer to compare different products in this game, and it's almost impossible. So I'm giving them a huge thumbs down for this business model. But since I don't invest, I only buy the best packages. I am business savvy enough to figure out which product I want, and if I put in a little bit of money in this game, my intention is to put in as little as possible, because I have a feeling this game not gonna last forever. As long as they make money out of it, which I'm sure they do quite a lot, they might have it online. But I wouldn't be surprised if they just one day just decided to, sorry guys for having invested a lot of money, but we're gonna turn off the servers today. So there's a language barrier. I think it's a German company, so whenever you try to interact on the forums, they have community managers that are not English speaking, and the forum is kind of a joke when it comes to information and communication. And basically I try to hang out with people in my coalition, in my team, and ask them questions how the game works, because any tooltip in the game, it gives you a lot of information. It's just that that information is so vague and so weirdly formulated that I cannot really understand what different units and new features are supposed to do. And even after playing the game for years, there's a lot of features that I still don't not fully understand, because it's so obtuse and vague. I don't enjoy that kind of gameplay. So my final judgment on this game is, if you're gonna start playing an MMO MOBA, this should not be the one you should start. The only reason I keep playing this is because I've invested a lot of time and money in it, and I might as well keep logging onto it once or twice per day, maybe having it in the background and popping into it, tabbing into it a couple of times per day, and starting all these bonus things. And I get a little bit of satisfaction once in a while, maybe every 3 months, maybe every half a year or once a year, when a huge player that is very cocky, he sees my level and he figures, he looks at my town and he can tell this is not a big spender in the game, because you can kind of see that how much money you invested in what you bought, your upgrades in your town. So he can see this is he's not a beginner, but he's not heavily investing. So how big of an army can he have? And I spent this all my time in 2 years just building up defensively, and he comes running into my defenses that are not probably not the strongest in the game by far, but you know, it might surprise him how strong my defenses are, and he might walk away with a loss even though he wins the combat that is far greater than he expected by the kind of non-coiner look of my city and setup. So I guess I'm in this game to have some guy that is stupid enough to invest a lot of money in this game, and a bit careless because of this, because he's got such a huge army that he can do basically whatever he wants. And then one day an underdog like myself gives him kind of a nose burn, the best of my ability without investing a lot of money. I guess I'm waiting for a day when I can do that a couple of times. And when if my army gets eliminated this way, you know, I might not even bother to spend 1 or 2 or 3 more years to rebuild it. I might just log out one final time and say, okay, I've had a decent time in this game. A lot of people spend a lot of time in chat You see, it's quite active. This is only today, and there's we have a Skype channel as well. That's even more. So there's a lot of social interaction for people in this game if you want to. Some people spend years getting to know people all over the world, and so I guess it's kind of like an role-playing game, like World of Warcraft MMO, social interaction possibility in this game. But honestly, I would prefer to walk around in World of Warcraft with an avatar and interact and change clothes and role play with other players if I'm gonna have a RPG game experience that I'm not investing any time socially in this game. I would prefer to do that in another forum, in another game. But I know a lot of people do it, and I'm sure they appreciate the game because there's a lot of slow time in between whatever you do, and you have plenty of time to spend in chat and talk about Corona and dogs and beer and drinks and cars and whatever, anything about the game. I mostly focused in chat to try to figure out stuff about the game features and functionality. It's very hard to find that information. Maybe because it's hard, there isn't any, no one knows. Maybe because if you find out something in this game how it actually works, maybe you don't want to share it and spread it. I can tell you, but please don't tell it to 100 other players on the forums, because I suppose real hard facts and information in this game is kind of has certain worth. So that is an overview of Sparta. I talked about this game for 48 minutes now, and I don't feel like I want to make this video any longer than it is. But if I get a lot of comments on YouTube, if I upload this video there, or on Twitch, and people really ask me to delve deeper into this game, I can explain and show my city. It's not a big secret how good my troops are or how many they are. It's not like anyone's gonna find out who I am and attack me just because of that. It doesn't really matter. I mean, they're probably gonna, if they spy on my town through this video, they're probably gonna think that, all right, this guy is not worth attacking. So it's not a big loss for me to share this information, but I'm not gonna do it unless a few people show interest in this game, in this video, and asks me to do it. Otherwise, if anyone watches this in the future on YouTube, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you gained some useful insight in it, and maybe a more idea about how one of many games of this kind works. And thank you for watching, and I'm looking forward to your comments in the YouTube section for that, if anyone wants to have a discussion with me there about how this game. So I'll see you in the next one, and take care out there. Have a good time. Bye for now.